It's like this. Some things in life are worth waking up early for, and this is one of those days. Welcome along to Suzuka in the rain and potentially the title deciding day on the track where the Formula One adventure started for Max Verstappen when at the age of 17 years and 3 days old he became the youngest driver ever to take part in a Formula One practice session. Well, it could continue today by taking a second world title at the age of 25 years and 9 days. This is the track on which he and the other 19 cars are going to be racing. 53 laps to come in the rain at Suzuka. 18 turns, 8 to the left and 10 to the right. You take your lap time at full throttle for 69% of the lap in the dry, and it was in the dry in 2019 when Pierre Gasly and Lando Norris were dueling going into the first turn. We've got Red Bull against Ferrari going into that first turn for the front row this afternoon. Charles Leclerc starting second. This is him at Spoon Curve, getting past Daniel Kvyat last time we were here. And we go to the chicane. Lando Norris and Alex Albon, who was racing for Red Bull then, they collide. Will we get more incidents like that and more damage to the cars today? Well, it's highly inevitable given the conditions out on the track. Forget those red tyres to the right-hand side of your screen, or the yellow or the white stripe. They're the dry tyres. The forecast is 100% rain for the duration of the race. It's the intermediates at the moment that seem the best tyres, but the rain could intensify and the wet weather tyres could come into play. So the starting grid then for the 2022 Japanese Grand Prix, and we have Pierre Gasly starting from the pit lane. They changed his rear wing. It wasn't like for like, it's a pit lane start. Nicholas Latifi then moves up to 19th after his 5-place grid penalty. It's Lance Stroll 18th and Kevin Magnussen 17th. And ahead of those, Alex Albon, who was just 5/100ths of a second away from Q2, alongside Mick Schumacher in the Haas. Zhou Guanyu starts 14th for the third time in 4 races. Yuki Tsunoda in his first ever Japanese Grand Prix will start 13th. Valtteri Bottas 12th. It's his best start in 5 races, but his worst at Suzuka since 2013. He's got Daniel Ricciardo for company. Ricciardo 0.003 of a second away from Q3, where his teammate Lando Norris made it, and Sebastian Vettel too. George Russell starts 8th for Mercedes, out-qualified 5-0 by Lewis since the summer break. Fernando Alonso 7th, with his teammate Esteban Ocon 5th, and Lewis Hamilton 6th, his first start outside the top 4 here since 2012. Sergio Perez and Carlos Sainz both have their best ever starts here at Suzuka, and for the 8th time this season, it's Charles Leclerc and Max Verstappen sharing the front. Watch him at the start and try and pick out your favourite driver through the spray. So it could be a title decider. 53 laps to come. It's lights out and away we go. Into turn 1 we go. Verstappen is ahead of Charles Leclerc. Leclerc trying to fight this one.
I think Vettel's off the track.
He is. He spun down the inside. There goes Fernando Alonso. There is ahead.
Oh, there's a Ferrari off.
Is a Ferrari off, and it is Carlos Sainz into the barrier and out of the race. For one moment, hearts were in mouths, I'm sure, as a Ferrari went off, and people thinking, oh no, could it be Charles Leclerc? But it's not, it's Carlos Sainz, and a safety car.
There's a bit of a hoarding on the front of Gasly's car there.
That is Alex Albon, and he too is out of this race. So we have lost Carlos Sainz and we have lost Alex Albon, and we are behind the safety car. And we've just seen a replay of what happened to Carlos Sainz.
Yeah, I crashed. I crashed.
I got hit by Alonso. Really bad, really bad.
This is Alex Albon.
Oh, I took a thing. What the hell is that? Oh my god.
Safety car.
I don't know, I got something stuck I can't see in front of me.
You could barely see a few feet in front of him.
Yeah, as Joe goes round.
The pirouetting Zhou Guanyu nearly collecting the red flag the race. With the rain intensifying, race control have taken the decision to bring out the red flag. Otmar Safnauer is on the Alpine pit wall and sheltering from the rain. It's getting harder down there, Otmar. That was an eventful opening lap of racing. Esteban Ocon making up a place, Fernando Alonso making up a place.
Yeah, they probably made up the place due to Sainz, but it's good we still have both of them in the race. It'll be tricky out there.
Talk about the contact, Sebastian Vettel and Fernando Alonso. Just one of those things that happens in the rain, do you feel?
God, what the? Yeah, what is this tractor? What is this tractor on track? I'll pass next to it, like, this is unacceptable.
It's Uno time down at McLaren. He should be playing Uno Flip. That's like Uno for advanced Uno players. It's normally a very good holiday game, Jensen.
Oh, really?
Sure, if you...
I used to play Uno a lot.
Did you?
Yeah.
You any good?
Oh, well, I was. I've found other things better than Uno in life.
I doubt that very much. Race will resume at 4:15, ladies and gentlemen. In 10 minutes' time, race will resume. As Max Verstappen then reaches the final corner, we'll see if anyone does come in to the pit lane. But we're racing again here at Suzuka. The Japanese Grand Prix is go once more. Verstappen leads the way then down into turn one. Charles Leclerc follows on in second place. You could barely see Charles Leclerc as Max made his way into turn one. Then comes Perez, then comes Ocon into the pits. Max Verstappen and Charles Leclerc, and this is where the crews can make a huge difference. George Russell's in, Perez, Ocon, Alonso, no, he stays out. Hamilton also into the pits. And down the main straight, Max Verstappen on the intermediate tyres, getting past the Haas of Mick Schumacher. Talking of side-by-side, and now ahead, Charles Leclerc.
But he's down the inside of Mick Schumacher.
Charles Leclerc now makes it 4.2 seconds, the gap between Verstappen and himself. Hamilton goes around the outside of the final turn and puts his car, his Mercedes, up into the top five. George Russell and Yuki Tsunoda going through the S's here. That was textbook. George Russell gets past Lando Norris up into the points. We're on board with Lewis Hamilton now. Towards 130R we go. Are we going to get a pass through 130R in the wet here at Suzuka? They almost touch Hamilton and Ocon as Ocon defends for all his might. Hamilton under braking. Can he find a gap? No. That was the moment. Just going into 130R and almost made contact. The very last lap, could it possibly happen? You never know. Sergio Perez is giving it everything, trying to get past Charles Leclerc, goes down the inside. It's imperative for these two that Max Verstappen has taken the checkered flag to win. Meanwhile, Perez tries to get him on the outside of the final corner. Leclerc comes home to take second place ahead.
Charles got a 5-second penalty there after the little sort of race we had with Sergio. World champion.
Well, what can I say? Incredible, of course. Yeah, very special also to do it here in front of all the Honda people, all the Japanese fans.
A 32nd career win then for Max Verstappen. Same as Fernando Alonso. A second world title for Max Verstappen. He is champion of the world in 2022.
You know, that was the perfect scenario to win it here, and we did that. Of course, let's say a little bit delayed, but yeah, still very happy to win it. The race as well. I mean, the car was again on fire, and I really didn't have any issues today. We could look after our tires, but yeah, looking back at the season we've had so far, it's been pretty impressive, but also really enjoyable for most of it.
Going forward, you know, next year I will try again to beat Max and get the championship. So yeah, I need the full support from Red Bull, and hopefully we are able to have that consistency that is needed for the championship. But for now, what a season Max has done.
It's a disappointing race, not because Max won the title, because honestly that was expected. Whether it was this weekend or next weekend or the one after, it was just a matter of time before he become a world champion. And for that, a huge congratulations to him, to Red Bull for doing such an incredible season.
It's very good today that we scored that many points. It was looking like we had nothing in the beginning, you know. There was no racing, the weather was really bad. And eventually, you know, it reduced. I was still not confident that we would be able to go, but the track did clear quite quickly, and it was good to finally get going.
We've all lost a very good friend of us 8 years ago. I think we all love Jules. We all suffered a lot with the accident that happened, and I just don't understand why 8 years later we need to see a tractor on this track in these conditions.